Hey, welcome to United Real Therapy Army. Mumbai, how are we doing? Big up to you, Mumbai. How are we doing? Mumbai, are you there? Hey, it's Mumbai, are you there?
You know,
we're back, mate. We're back. We're back with a bang.
Back with a bang, you know.
We're back, baby.
Baby got back. You know, I'm watching that today. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna make some popcorn, put my feet up, and I want everybody to quantify Eric Ten Hag tonight. So you're lucky, you escaped. We're gonna have a normal conversation, I think, now, and actually analyze something. But there you go.
How did you see the game? How are you doing? How did you see the game?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, thank you. Good evening, everybody. I mean, we're in control of the game completely. I'm not saying we're causing problems. You know, we're not notoriously known for just breaking teams down, and then you just make a mistake, they score a goal, and that's been, you know, parts of our season have been like where we don't deserve to be down. But the problem is when you go down, usually you start struggling, and then they get bold, and you're just dead. But do you know what, man? We deserve the 3 points proper today. They have their chances, bro. It's just the way we play. I don't know what to tell you. You know, we commit so many men forward, and teams break on us. That's the risk that Eric plays with, and it's a risk that is causing us a lot of problems. But today I thought we were very good in possession. Took care of the ball in the first half really well. Thought I like Garnacho went at his guy a lot. I wanted Antony to do the same, you know, go at that guy, man. He just kept cutting inside. I like Wan-Bissaka, bro. I really do. I find it hard to say sell him, and I'm not saying that because he's so good defensively. But Aaron always takes the easy option of giving it to somebody else to get the final ball in. Why? You get the final ball in, man. You put that ball in. If you could just start getting confidence to do that, he would start having like a bit about him. Thought Maguire was good today. Thought Maguire did all right, man, today. The standout performance by country mile, I thought Bruno was absolutely quality tonight. He popped up everywhere. He made those runs down the byline. He was the most forward player, made great runs. His passing was excellent tonight. The way he switched the ball from left to right, right to left, brilliant. And he deserved, man. He deserved his goals. Do you know what I mean? And he set one up. I thought he was mint today. Really good. So yeah, Dino, I thought we played well, bro. I know it's only Sheffield United, but just an analysis of the game.
It's only bottom of the league.
I know, bro. It is.
It's only bottom of the league.
It is. But you know, we did play well. There was a lot of things that I liked about it. And it was nice. It was a nice ending, you know, with Wheatley coming on. And I thought the subs were right. I thought, man, Ericsson can't play for us next season now. It's I love him. I love the player. I love the man. I like the person that I always have been a massive fan. But you know, all good things come to an end, and I think Christian Eriksen will go at the end of the year. It was the right substitutions and a good day, man.
Up everybody, man. We're back, baby. We're back, mate. We're back for that title charge. Let's go, guys. We're back.
This right, man. Big up Liverpool.
Big up old tight clock. Cloppy clock, mate. No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Adewale is responding to, though. Who is overreacting?
Listen, big up Adewale.
Nerobeat, sending you my love, man.
Trust me. Listen, people are overreacting. But let me just get this super chat. Pick up Adewale. Says Bruno, best game of the season. But it's why United key players that aren't good enough. Everyone is overreacting. Being poor this season, but a couple of good games. Everything's forgotten. 100%. We love moments over performance. 100%.
Who's overreacting?
There are a lot on Twitter.
There's nobody overreacting. There's no one overreacting
on the socials, mate. in our timeline, we could see people overreacting. So calm down, people. Just because you don't see the people overreacting, don't mean that people are not overreacting.
Twitter don't count, man.
Yo, big up. Listen, Jarvis, talk to me. It's the new direction, the new way of playing. Did we see some possession tonight? Did we see Manchester United getting jazzy? Or as the title, one of the things to talk about is that if Sheffield United could finish, would have been 4-4 or 5-4. Talk to me, Jarvis. Talk to me.
Well, we have established right now that we are better than the worst team in the Premier League history. That's something to celebrate.
Let's go, baby!
We'll take it.
I just want to say new contracts for everyone. Slap on a race. So no,
10 years. Everybody's got 10 years.
Yeah. But to be honest, it was a snooze fest. I was so tired. I was laying on my couch watching the game. Nothing happened. We were methodic. They were very slow on the ball. No tempo, no creativity, no third man runs to open up spaces, create space for other players. You saw Hojlund today. He was always wrestling, packed in with the back five. It's difficult for a young lad. But the thing is, this is our level. We aren't. This is how good we are at the moment. And yeah, we can try to play possession-based football, but the players are not up for it. We don't know how to do it. We haven't drilled. We don't know what to do when a pass goes sideways. What do we do? Do we just stand there and look at them, pass the ball to each other, or do we run? But we don't do that. We created a lot of chances in the first half, but I wouldn't give that to us and our quality. I would give it to Sheffield United because they are a really bad team. I'm almost certain that the under 18s would have won against them tonight. At the moment, they have nothing. And they managed to score 2 goals against us. So I'm not very, very happy at the moment. I think I'm glad the season is almost over. Only 5 games left of this dross, and we can look forward for a summer window. And maybe we will have some new players, more exciting players. Because at the moment, the only players I'm excited to see is Garnacho, it's Diallo, and it's Menu. Rest of them, Ethan Wheatley today, that was the only exciting thing. The last 9 minutes, I just hope that he could score a goal. But besides that, I'm not very positive. This is our level. We see how bad. There's nothing to be excited about with this team. We are like bricks, gray bricks. No one dribbles. No one takes the ball. No one tries. No one excites. It's just the way it is. So, I have nothing to say on the tactical part because it's nothing to say, As you said, we try possession, but we do it without tempo and no third man runs. So, yeah.
I want to pick up from where Jarvis left off and address, Adewale. And since we're addressing imaginary United fans, let me also address some imaginary fans who I think might be disappointed that we won this game. I'm sure there's some people that were really looking forward to us losing so they could come and make the same points that they make all the time. And to push back slightly on what Jarvis is have I lost you?
Right there.
We lost you, Sean. You have to repeat yourself.
When you say our level, to me, our level is 6th on the table, which is exactly where we are. We're the 6th best team in the Premier League, behind Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City, who are more than 5 years into their project, and Tottenham and Aston Villa, who, in my opinion, are having a new manager bounce. So that's our level currently. We're not the equivalent of the worst team in the Premier League. I know that it's in fashion to be upset about everything that goes on at United, but I think everything we saw in this game just is reminiscent of everything we've seen this season, which is errors here and there, low confidence basically. But the team, I think, won today in a way that they were expected to. Against the worst team in the Premier League, we scored 4 goals, which is expected. So it's business done, right? I don't want us to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. It's nothing to be super excited about, but I'm also just going to push back on what I see as unnecessary for lack of a better term, and I know this is a trigger word, negativity. The league accurately reflects our level, which is that we are the sixth best team in the Premier League currently. Like I said, behind three teams who are more than 5 years into their projects and two other teams who are having a new manager bounce. We're sixth. We're not 20th. We're not the worst team in the Premier League. Everything we've seen this season, is what we saw in this game: inconsistency, mistakes, a depleted squad. Some bright moments here and there, bright sparks from Bruno. Maguire looks awesome, basically in defense. Really happy for what he looks like. Kobe Mino, steady Eddie, continuing to drop minimum 6.5 over 10 performances. I'm happy for Hojlund that he scored a goal today. I really, really wish we got Ericsson as a younger player, because I think he's a Rolls Royce of a midfielder basically, and it's exactly what we need. It's just that he's too old basically to do what we need to do. I think there's an interesting conversation to be had about how we looked without Rashford on the pitch and what that means going forward. I'm glad that Ahmad got more than 20 minutes basically to play in a Premier League game. And I'm really curious because there was a shot of what's his name? What's this guy's name again? The new guy, Wilcox, and Dave Burrows for deep in conversation. So I'm really curious about what kind of conversations they might have been having and what the takeaway basically is from this game. But we won. We won comfortably, and we move on to the next one.
Okay, Lesso, go ahead, bro. Give me your match reaction. Big up to you.
Yeah, big up to the panel. And once again, yeah, but I did tell you guys that it's gonna be either
If anybody's
3-2
saying anything,
or
it looks like they're
a
on
higher
mute.
score. Because no, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear him, guys?
You're on mute,
okay.
Nuruddin.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. But I did say,
is it me?
it was gonna be I did say that it was gonna be a high scoring game. It was either gonna be the 3-2 or a higher score. It's obvious we're gonna concede. We've been conceding, for fun, this season. That's not a secret, guys. And we obviously, due to us conceding many shots per game. So that obviously ultimately leads to goals and us conceding, naturally. But yeah, well, we did beat the worst team in Premier League history. I expected a win here. You could not possibly draw or lost this game at all. It would have been unacceptable at any level. So yeah, we've won. But you can only be happy for the 3 points. But besides that, man, there's also something to be positive about. At least our goal difference is +2 now for the first time in the longest time. Have we even been at the pluses? But can't even remember the last time we even had a plus goal difference. But it is what it is, guys. That's how terrible we've been. I feel like the season does not reflect our position does not reflect our season. Let's be honest. We can look at the fundamentals and everything, and we can look at our place on the log table, but we can't ignore the fact that this has been a poor season, and any other given season, we probably languishing way worse on the table. So I'm still not happy. A lot has to change. I'm glad
Listen,
that
what does that
Wilcox has
mean
come
though?
in.
What do you
I
mean when you
mean,
say
any
our season?
no, our season does not reflect our position. In any other given season, factually, if you look at the points tally, we would not be anywhere near the top 4, anywhere near. So based on previous seasons, we would be anywhere. We would be somewhere 7th or 8th right now. So we got away with it personally because other teams are going through what they are going through. And let's be honest, it's been a crazy season because it's been the whole World Cup thing just messed up everything. So teams had injuries for days. All of us had injuries, So it did work, somewhat worked against us, but it also helped us. and that's just how weird football is sometimes. But I'm not gonna sit here and say we're comfortably the sixth best team in the country, because I'd be lying if I, based on everything that I've seen.
No,
How
but what does
every
what
game
you're saying really mean? Let's say, because the
no
same thing applies for the people that are first on the table. Arsenal, 77 points in another season isn't top of the table. Like that's a meaningless argument, because
mm,
the table is
no
what it is, and each season is different from the other
no
season.
Sean
So I don't think it's
Sean
fair to say if you
Sean
compare our position this
Sean
season to last season or something like that.
Sean Sean, can I finish? Can I finish my point? If we were to go into next season with Ten Hag, right? Let's put it like this: we go into next season with Ten Hag, playing the same type of football that we play in this season. Which position do you think we finish next season? I can bet you 100% that teams are not going to be the same next season. Newcastle's going to get a new manager. Liverpool are going to get a new manager. And they're all going to improve. Arsenal's only going to get better. Man City is not going to really drop off. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of teams
So
will
everybody's
recover,
going to
because we've
improve
had,
but us.
like I always say, that we're not going to improve. Keep Ten Hag. We
Okay.
don't have a style of play. How are we going to improve if we don't have a style of play? So for me, style of play is very important. You put that as your base going into any type of project that you want to go going forward. If you don't have that base, you have nothing. A house does not, without a foundation, it does not last. It will collapse. So we need to get that right. And Ten Hag is not the man to get that right. That's why we need to try and go back to the basics next season and sort that out. Because otherwise, the way we're going, honestly, if we continue with the way we're going, we could easily be 10th if there's no the right players are not being sacked, the right recruitment is not being made. We still have the same medical people there. We still have the same, basically what Noreddin summed up. We still have the same setup. We're done for, and we know that we're done for, because everything that we've been doing this season has not been sustainable. Anything that we did previous to the previous season was not sustainable either, no matter how we finished it, because people were saying we're negative. But we said that if we continued not playing a very sustainable style of football, the following season we're gonna be found out. Guess what? We got found out.
Yeah,
This
because
season.
nothing
So
else happened this
that's how
season,
I'm
right?
gonna leave
Nothing
it.
else happened this season that is an extenuating factor. We just
Just let him
continued
finish,
exactly
Sean.
from where we were last season into this
Just
season.
let him finish
We
and
Wonderful
then
six,
come back.
analysis.
we're in sixth place. We're in sixth place, my man. We're in sixth place. We barely we're far away from the top four. It's a drop off from last season. Way in terms of in fact, we have dropped off in all side of the game. You talk about the substitutions, you talk about the squad rotation, you talk about the number of goals that we scored, you talk about the number of shots that we've conceded in each and every game, you talk about our style of play, you talk about our results. Everything has just collapsed because there was no foundation to begin with. That's what we've been saying, that get it right. You have to start with a sustainable plan to get it right in the long term. You can't start off with a short-term problem and then try and get a long-term solution right. You can't do that. You can't take short corners to get a long-term fix. You can't do that. You have to do something from the get-go. You have to do it right from the get-go, set precedents going forward, and that's how you get to the long-term goals. A process, we talk about process. We know what a process means. That's why we always say you can't trust something that you don't see. If you don't see gradual improvements, then it ultimately never leads to anything, because
I
things
think
don't
that's
just
the
come
word.
together out of nowhere. There has to be
Yeah.
something behind it to see. Yeah.
So I think he said I talk about the gradual,
Yeah,
the
basically.
the
So for me,
tangibles, the tangible differences, the tangible growth. We need to be able to, and we've not seen that. Big up to Adewale. I say,
yeah.
Sean, always on the same task, positive stuff. It's so tiring. Listen, it's a football opinion, innit? So like everybody else's. Big up to everybody. Love and like. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We are shadow banned people. Shadow banned. Demonetized. So we appreciate the super chat. Appreciate Adewale. Appreciate everybody else in the community getting involved, having their say. At the end of the day, the way I look at it, hey, let's have a round of applause tonight, people, please. Tonight, Manchester United only faced 10 shots. Hey, we've kept it below 20. Let's have a clap. Come on, everybody. Come 10. Only 10 shots. Get in. Get in. We are improving.
Yep.
Hey, Wilcox is working his magic. Oh God. Listen, it's crazy. Can I just say big up to the Evertonian legend. Man like Rico, mate. Everton stay up. That means to me that with that result. And Everton, you know what I mean? Throw one stone and kill two birds, mate. They threw one stone and they're gonna stay up now. They've won 2 games back to back. If they win against Brentford on Saturday, 5 o'clock, I think that is your season, boom. Regardless, points deduction, whatever, you're staying. But one thing they have done, they put a dent. They've literally put a dent, a hammer in Liverpool's title hopes. So yeah, crazy. Big up, please do ring. We need Rants to cook Sean. He might not come back like Neji. Yo, big up, listen to me. No, listen. We don't need anybody to cook anybody. Everybody has their different football
nobody
opinions.
can cook me because I'm not interested in the performative side of things. Like, this is not a performance for me. I'm giving my opinion on this stuff. And you know, I think part of what Lesso was saying is part of what I'm alluding to, where it's like heads, Ten Hag loses, you know, tails, he loses also. Like he can't do anything. He can't do anything right. And if you tell a story of this season as a direct continuation of last season, that's not fair or an honest rendition of what has happened. You have to allow for the context. If you believe that Ten Hag isn't the right person for the job, that's one thing, right? That's a perfectly defensible position. My issue most of the time is that the arguments in favor of getting rid of Ten Hag, most of them are bad. They're terrible arguments, which is why I find myself in a position of having to defend them.
Why are they bad? What arguments? The arguments are there.
The argument.
He's not kicked on. He's not developed this other than this basketballification of football. That's not style. That's just crazy. That's suicide football, what we play. So for me, on style, on improving players, on improving and coaching actually players, all of that is gone. He relies on the 2 youngsters. 2 of them come through luckily, and he can't take credit for their development. It's Manchester United and the people who developed these youngsters who are coming through on the 18s as well. It's these types of people who develop them, and he's just put them in the first team. And Kobe has come in and did what he did, and without him, we look like a lost team. So I'm sorry, Sean. You can get back on now after a couple of results that you're back on Ten Hag.
I'm not back on Ten Hag anything.
Nobody's buying any of this nonsense.
And these are the issues.
Nonsense. Listen, I'll say this is simple. Erik Ten Hag last season had a style of play that was quite pragmatic, that kept clean sheets, that kept things, right? Majority of teams, I've already proven that. Loads of teams have had injuries this season. Loads. Brentford have had so many different partnerships at the back, across the back 4.
They haven't had as many as we have.
Sean, Manchester United are not Brentford. Manchester United are fucking Manchester United. Brentford are Brentford. The resources, the level of cost to the players, the level of wages to the players, all of that is totally 2 differences. So the point I'm trying to make, Brentford, even Chelsea have had injuries, severe injuries this season, where they couldn't feel.
Yeah, and we're doing better than all those teams.
Newcastle, all of these teams have had these kind of injuries. And Spurs have had massive bouts of injuries in terms. And actually, a lot of the Spurs fans tell me, oh, actually, we like them players to be the ones who are injured, to stay injured, because we actually played better. We became more of a team, as a squad. We grew together. So I'm sorry, Erik Ten Hag is confused. Like Musa said, he's concussed. He don't know what the fuck is going on. And it's just, to me, a waffle after waffle after waffle.
Yeah, I can see him being concussed. I can see Ten Hag being concussed. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. I can also see him being confused as well.
Yeah, picking the same bullshit players. These are things. So there are arguments. I've been talking about this, Sean, since January. January last year, I said this is unsustainable. You cannot play this type of football where you play moments. And actually, last season, or this actually the season where we finished with Ollie, where we had Ranier, actually that was a false position as well. Because genuinely, Manchester United play in moments and rob games. This season, the amount of daylight robbery, the amount of stick up we've done is unbelievable. We've done
I think
such a stick up business.
in cup tournaments, right? It's fair to point to luck or whatever. But I think a league with over 38 games, I think the water finds its level during the league. I don't think it's fair to suggest that it's a false position or anything like that. This is what I mean by like basically Ten Hag can't win. It's not a false position because it's not a good position that we're in. We're sixth. It's been a terrible season. It's been a tough season, which is why the first position on the league currently has 77 points instead of 90 something points as you will see in previous seasons. It's a difficult Premier League that everybody is facing right now. No one has had the same amount of injury crisis as we have. No one has had the same amount of rotations, defensive pairings as we have. These are, depending on how you feel about Ten Hag, either excuses or context for understanding where we are right now. I said it at the beginning of the season that I think the manager made the wrong decision in bringing in Mason Mount and Bruno and Casemiro. He's wrong for not keeping the players honest and making substitutions and none of that. But I don't see how bringing in a new manager necessarily, solve the problem. But if they sack him, I'm fine because contrary to what some of the people in the comments might think, I'm a United fan first and foremost. So when a new manager comes, I will back that manager as well and hope for the best for the team. It makes no difference to me who's sitting in the seats. United comes first. But I just disagree with the idea that there is somebody out there who, in the context of United, would come in and fix the problem. I don't see that happening. I think we've seen evidence.
Sean, we've already said, and I will keep repeating ourselves on here.
Right. We have to sack the medical staff. Yeah, sack everybody. Right.
Nobody on here has ever said Ten Hag leaving is going to fix this. We've said players have to go with him. Senior players have to go with him. The medical staff needs changing. The coaching staff needs changing. We've said that and we've repeated it again and again and again. And we're going around in circles. So I wanted to go back to the game tonight. Jarvis, what parts of the game did you like tonight of Manchester United? Did you like the fact that we kept 72% possession against bottom of the league? Come on, Jarvis.
No, for me, it's a little bit boring watching us. Like, remind me of Van Gaal days. We just kept possession for possession's sake, and we didn't create much. But I'm trying to analyze. I'm watching the stats, see if there's something that I can point out. But there's not much to say.
Saka is coming for a lot of stick. I remember Saka is coming for a lot of stick. Was he that bad? To be fair, he's not a left back.
No, I don't see the problem with Wan-Bissaka. I think Antony is the problem when it's going forward. Antony was dreadful today, and that's Antony. He's not performing. He had a couple of good games, and then now he's back to his old self. I'm not sure what Antony is trying to do. I wish Antony had more guts trying to take on his man. He's always passing the ball sideways and inwards. You don't have the dribbling skills, and this is what I see with our team. We lack ball players who can actually take on a man. The only dribbler we have in the team is actually Garnacho and Mainu, and then Diallo, of course. I would like to see more dribblers and more ball carriers. We have a lot of people who expect the guy next to you to do something, so they just pass the ball. They don't do anything with heart in a way, and this is a big problem. Kobe Mainu, he knows he can dribble in tight spaces. He has good close control. Even a player like Hojlund, I'm not gonna dig out Hojlund, but even him, he's 21 years old. I think, will he be as good as we expect? Because his technique is in a little bit off, and his close control is a little bit off. Okay, as a striker, you can develop when you get older, but you develop different things. Your technique and close control is something that you have from the beginning. As you can't learn it when you're 21. It's too late. So I'm not even sure if he will come good, but you know, I will be happy because the under 18s won yesterday. The future looked bright. This team, yeah, it's the same as the last year under Ragnick. I don't see much now. A lot of them have just caved in. They're just doing what's expected of them, the minimum, the bare minimum, and yeah, we will see. What do you think, Nordin?
Wheatley coming on for the 9 minutes. Wheatley coming on for 9
Yeah,
minutes. What do you
weekly.
think of
Yeah, that was the best.
The crowd loved that, didn't they? The crowd always loved because of the
Mm.
traditions of Manchester United. Since 1930, I think we always have a youth player in our match day squad, and that's a record. That's something to be proud of. That's the only thing that to be proud of, really, in this football club. That's a record. That record even the Glazers couldn't fucking destroy. Yeah. I think for me, like you said, keeping possession without penetration, without getting the ball forward. You know, possession has to be with purpose. It was, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing on that when Ericsson, and you know, there's not much to pass to because we don't have any. As I say, if you play against a back five and a low block, you have a 5 in defense and 4 midfielders in front of them, and they sit like this. So you're basically trying to attack and find space against 9 men plus the goalkeeper 10 in their own 18-yard box. So there's not much space there. So where is the pass going? You have to have high tempo on the ball, pass it back and forward with high tempo, try to stretch them out, and you need runs from all angles. Third man runs to drag them out of position. But this is what you need. You're on mute, Nordin.
The biggest thing is that one of the biggest things that why you have to keep width and you have to keep the width high when you've got a team that sits back and is defending with 10 is because the gaps in between, that is the way you have to find. So if you stretch the width, they can't block the middle as much as they can be effective. But you have to go wide. This is how I was coached, Jarvis. You have to go wide, and then the tempo of the passing has to be accurate and with speed. It has to be accurate and speedy. And everybody has to move quickly and almost in a rhythm, sync in a rhythm where the movement is. With movement, with good passing, with high width, you can destabilize. And we see that with Man City. We see that with the best teams in the world. They do it all of the time. They do it. Unfortunately, Manchester United cannot do it. But on the whole, I thought tonight scoring 4 goals is thing. Like I said, we're +2 now for the season. Our goal difference has always been around minus or
I think it's +1.
Yeah, it's +1. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. So that's something to cheer. But other than that, yeah, Wheatley, the kid got on. So that, for me, says a lot. You know what I mean? He's been banging them in for that team. They've done the double. I hope they now go and finish the coach and win the treble and win the national Premier League. So that would be amazing for them. By far the best team Manchester United have produced this season. So yeah, really proud of that, and I'm glad that he went out and got a kit. He ran round for nearly 10 minutes. So yeah, police for him. Bombaye, other than Bruno, who else impressed you tonight? Bombaye's gone to sleep. Let's so. Who else impressed? Who else was impressive tonight? Bombaye, go on. You're back now, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I thought Maguire. I think Maguire's had a good season. You know, I'm thinking. I was just saying to the boys, we need. I don't know if Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'm a fan. I think he's so good defensively that I find it hard to depart with him. I just feel if he could, rather than always give it to Antony or Bruno or Ericsson infield when he's so high, just get it in yourself, man. Why don't you have some faith in yourself? Just put a ball in. You've put a few decent ones in, but he's too much the easy option. You know, he's got no self. He's got no very the character, man. He needs to be a bit more balls. You know, I will fuck this up good and proper, but I'm going to put a ball in. Put a ball in. The amount of balls we put in that are shocking anyway. Don't worry about it. You know, you're going to cock it up, do it in style, but put some balls in. So Antony, I thought was awful. Garnacho at least was constantly going at his man. And that's one thing that I like about him. Sometimes he does it when he shouldn't, but Antony doesn't do it at all. Cutting back on that left foot, infield, just steady, offered nothing. But Maguire, I thought, was good. Casemiro was all right, you know, centre back. He did okay. Kobe Minu did well today. Rasmus Hojlund. Rasmus Hojlund needs to just relax a little bit. It's a little bit scruffy. He was making good runs. You know, he got in front of the defenders, but didn't quite go for him. He got his goal. I like him. He's industrious. He always works hard, and he does. He always does the right thing as well. You know, even if it's a normal little pass, go again. These things I like about him. But he's got to be a little bit better composure, a little bit calmer in his work. He's actually got good feet, but I think his temperament is ruining it. It's scruffy and it doesn't need to be. So he's got to fix that and take a breath before he does what he's supposed to do. But tonight, man, Captain Marvel, Bruno today was everywhere, and that was one of his best games. Yeah, okay, Sheffield United. I'm not getting excited, but
Bottom of the league. Bottom of the league.
Bottom of the league, yeah. But he was outstanding today. The way he was switching the
You
passes.
see the last goal that he scored.
Yeah,
the shot,
beauty.
like he had about 20 yards of space, like 15, 20 yards of
Yeah,
space.
yeah. It's
To hit
he
that
did.
because they
But what
conceded more goals, they will go down as being the worst Premier League team.
they will do. What I'd say, just two things, bro, and I'll finish off. Jarvis is right. At times, Bruno and Ericsson are the guys that are looking to make the passes, but we are very static. We are very, very static. And you can't be static when you're playing against, as Jarvis described it, there's no space. It's a constant mid to low block looking to dispossess transition. As you know, that cutback goal, the customary goal, was on a transition and we had one mistake. Okay. But you've got to move, man. You've got to give players that can find you something to hit. I play that position. I find people, if there's no movement, I'm just going backwards. What's the point? Just getting frustrated. So it's very static, man. It's shit. What actually was happening, though, if you notice, Bruno was the guy that was making some beautiful runs. And if he controls it, he has a hat trick today or even more. He had two great runs in behind. And if you look, he's going down the byline, passes it out, keeps his run going. Wan-Bissaka finds him, he gets his ball in. Antony finds him, he gets his ball in. You've got to do that more, boys. It can't just be the fullbacks. It's too obvious. You've got to do that. So Bruno today was tremendous. I thought it was a brilliant performance. So that's what I think of it, man. That was
Boomba, I just want to
That's
go
why
back a
I
little
love
bit.
it. That's why
Sorry,
I love
Nuri.
it. When Bruno comes out against the worst team in the Premier League history, puts on a show for the team.
Go on.
ahead.
Yeah, I just want to ask Boomba. Yeah, you spoke a little bit about Hojlund, and when you saw Ethan Wheatley came in at the last 9 minutes of extra time, you could see he's sharp in his movement. He's sharp how he presses. He do it with purpose. How he angles his body, and you know, he only like sneaks into the center back and then strikes. When you see Hojlund, you see him run like mad, like he's scruffy, as you say, and
Bull in the
runs
China
like
shop,
mad
Jarvis.
and try to challenge. So there's a
Yeah.
big difference when you see the balance in Ethan Wheatley and not the balance in Hojlund. Of course, Hojlund is a massive talent; he can improve. But Ethan Wheatley, wow, he impressed me.
Do you know when Cole came into United? Cole's a great player, Andy Cole. There was a lot of snatching going on. And I can't remember who it was. He said to him, "Look, man,
He had to learn, Mumbai. He
look,
had to
man,
learn
you're
how to be a
here."
different player.
He said, "Nah, bro. What happened was you're here because you're a top class player. We don't sign you for this money if you're not good enough, right? Just relax, breathe, pick your spot, and just strike it." Hojlund is gonna come in his pants 10 million miles an hour. Relax, man. Chill out. Take a breath. You've got the quality. I've seen you finish. He has got good feet. He's got the desire. He will be a goal scorer because he gets to those positions and makes the runs that I always said Martial is not a killer in front of goal. He don't have that appetite. This kid, he has it, but it's very scruffy because exactly what Jarvis said. Wheatley is calm. Do you know what I mean? He's calm. You saw the body language. It's perfect what Jarvis said. He will tell you from a mile away, I'm on my way, and it's like he's a horse's horse and carriages behind. Relax, chill out, take your time, man. Do you know what I mean? And maybe he's doing it because I've not scored in a while now. I'm getting desperate again. Just chill out, relax, and that's what they need to be telling him. Composure, time. You know what I mean? Take a deep breath, pick a spot, strike. See it before it happens. He's playing in real time, and it doesn't have to be like this. I don't think that is him, but I think his temperament is way off. They need to realign that, and then you will see a good player.
John, did you see anything that impressed you other than Bruno and Maguire?
He's in his pants, man.
Yeah, the thing with Bruno, I think for the first time today, I think I finally understood why he plays as much as he does. He's like the quarterback for this United team. He's the one who is sending. Sometimes it seems like he's spamming the balls, but essentially all our attack, all our forward play goes through Bruno. And I have doubted Bruno, still kind of doubt him, because we never see this type of performances against the big six teams. But I wish Ten Hag can rotate him some more so that we can get the best out of Bruno. Maguire also, I agree with you, positive. I mean, I think for the first time also, Casemiro for the first time in a long time, looked decent. Well-timed tackle, showed some leadership from the back. Even though his time at United should be over. I wouldn't draw any conclusions from what we saw from this Whitby guy. I mean, we saw him only for 9 minutes. I wouldn't draw any conclusions at all. I would say I'm happy that Hojlund scored. I expect him to score in the next game because it seemed like all he needed to do was break the duck to go on a run. So I'm happy that Hojlund scored. I think the problem with his pressing isn't Hojlund per se, but that somehow the pressing generally from the front 3 or 4 is just disjointed. The way I see pressing, it's not up to one individual, right? Because most of the time, what you have to cut out the passing lanes, and it's the other people that are pressing with you that do that. And our pressing generally this season has been terrible. So too bad for Hojlund. But I'm happy that Hojlund scored. Yeah, happy to see Hojlund on the score sheet. Eriksen just reminded us of what we could have had if we had signed him a long time ago, or what we're looking for from a profile of a midfielder. Wan-Bissaka also, looked aggressive as always. Final delivery is missing, but he looked quality himself and Dalot on the wings. But yeah, not much positive to take, honestly, other than the fact that we got 3 points and we scored a number of goals. So it would have been really bad if we lost this game. So I'm just glad that we won.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it would have been curtains to lose to probably the worst Premier League team in history. It would have been fucking. I'm telling you, that would have just capped up. But yeah, capped up the night. But yeah, they scored 2 good goals. It must be said, obviously, one was a mistake from Munana. But I like that guy. His name Gustavo, the player that they have. Definitely, that's a player to look at. I like the composure that he shows in the last third, especially when he cuts people, chops people up. He was the one that composed the ball, then passed it, then the ball came across, and then I think he's South American player or Spanish player, he scored for them, the second goal. But the kid, I don't know where he's from. I don't know if it's Gustavo or I don't know what his name is, but he's a really good player for them. And he's somebody that I would love to have in my squad, honestly. I know you think, somebody plays for Sheffield United, but one thing one of the biggest things that I notice about players is players who have time on the ball in the last third, that have more time than you think they should. And that to me is a sign of his composure in the last third. Do you know what I'm talking about? He's either Latin American. He's Latin American player.
Is it the guy
Somebody in
called
the chat.
Diaz, the
Is it
Chilean guy?
Diaz? Yeah, is it
I
Chilean
think
guy?
he
Is
had
he
a
Chilean
compound
player?
name. Is it the guy that scored?
No, not the one who scored. The one who sets up the move. He's the one that chops it and then plays the pass, and then the other guy crosses it and then he scores. It's the short, stocky kind of he was playing on the left-hand side for them. On the left-hand side, he's like a inverted winger or inverted number 10 or whatever he is. He is a really good player. I really like him.
Oli Arblaster. Is he English? No.
No. This is
19-year-old.
He's stocky Latin American looking kid. It sounds like he's from Latin. I think his name is Gustavo. Let me have a look at the lineup. 1 second. Somebody in the chat, please let me know. But he's
But you're onto something, Nuruddin, when you say, and I'm not one of those people who say that somebody from Sheffield can't play for United, because I really think that the job of whoever the directors are right now, whoever is leading the transfer job, they are going to have to look for value from the market. So I don't see us making any statement signings. I think whatever signings we make in the summer would have to be players that, relative to their price, turn out to be undervalued, basically, in terms of the dollar or pound.
Sean, we can't hear you. Hello, Sean. Can you hear us? Sean?
He's out.
He's out. Right. Sean is not. I think Sean's pulled out. Hopefully he'll come back. He'll go in and come back. Big up. I don't know if it's this guy, Vinicius Sousa, if that's his name.
Could be.
He's a Brazilian guy who came on in the second half.
Is he the Chilean guy?
No, Brazil.
Yeah. He could be that guy. It could be him. It's somebody who come. He's quite stocky, low sense of gravity. He quickly turns. He chops people in and out. He is a player. He looks like a player for me, and especially when the team. Yeah. Is that his name? Gustavo Hammer. Is that his name?
Oh, yeah. That's the stocky guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He took the free kick and corner kicks, and he was on set pieces.
Yes. Him. I like him, Jarvis. I'm not gonna lie to you. I watch out for these players. Yeah, Gustavo. Hammer. Yeah, that's his name. Gustavo Hammer. Yeah. I'm just looking at him now. He's 24 years old. He's quite young as well. You know, he's quite young. But he's a good player, man.
He's Dutch.
Is he Dutch?
Netherlands, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right when it comes to being composed and having time on the ball. But it comes down to technique, how you receive the ball, which foot do you use, how do
he's
you
born in Brazil. So he's born in Brazil, but he represents the Netherlands at youth level. Yeah. He was based in Holland. Yeah. He's a good player. He's a very interesting player. Honestly, I like the calmness he shows in the last third. Very calm, Jarvis. Very, very calm in the last third. And I like people like that. You know, they got beaten. I watched the game against Burnley. They got smashed, but he scored a fantastic goal. Yeah. Vinicius Sousa, Brazil, 24-year-old. No, it's not that guy. No, it's Gustavo. That's the guy we were talking about. But big up to you, Lilas. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the possession sake. Yeah. Maguire, to be fair, I called it a couple of games ago, 4 or 5 games ago, that I said that he's become more aggressive in his defending. And now he's actually scoring headers. You know, 2 games, he's scoring headers. But some people say he's found his level, bottom of the league or the championship. That could be a point, but he looks a lot better in terms of where he played. And definitely we notice a little bit more. I mean, the only thing is that Antony didn't take his chance, did he? That was the most disappointing. Let's talk about what was disappointing. Antony was really disappointed. Who else was disappointed, Lesso? Who else would you say was disappointed tonight?
I mean, obviously it's Antony. I can't really say much about Aaron Wan-Bissaka because he isn't a left back, but quite disappointing a little bit. Hojlund was disappointing as well. Garnacho was a bit disappointing, and not really too many players were disappointing. But I mean, those are the ones that I actually picked, and then obviously the ones that impressed me, like I said, Amad Diallo was not mentioned. He's one of them. He keeps never getting his chance, no matter what. Man can score a hat trick, and you'll never get it. You'll never start a game for United. So yeah, he impressed. Casemiro did well as well. Kobe Mainoo did well. Maguire did well. So Maguire, man, I mean, he has to go, man. He has to go. Yeah, he's doing well, which works well for us to sell him for a good price. So, either way, how you look at, I want all these players to do well so we can be able to sell them. Even the ones that are doing badly, I hope they do pick up, towards the end of the season and actually put in a show so that they can be used in the transfer window. We need players. So, and yeah, overall, man, I mean, those are the players that did well and those who were just disappointing. But that just sums up our season. Not everyone can ever be, on the same level consistently. So that's just how our team is.
Jarvis, who else was disappointing for you tonight?
Yeah,
Who
I'm
were you
looking at it
disappointed?
right now. Onana, obviously, because of his big mistake on the first goal. Ericsson was had a bad game. Antony, yeah, he didn't look good. I don't know. There wasn't much to say about it. Scott McTominay came on.
Yeah.
Didn't see him at all. I think he had one time he kicked the goalkeeper, Fotheringham, but besides that, I didn't see him at all. Diallo came on and showed some technique, some dribbling skills, close control. He took on 3 men by himself, and this is what I would like to see more of. People actually having the courage to go up against worst opposition, because this is how we have to do it. When you see Manchester City play or Arsenal play, those players have the courage. Okay, they play as a team, but they also play as brilliant individuals. We look afraid when we come up against a man. We don't try to take them on, dribble. As I mentioned, Mainoo was the only one I saw dribble. I think he had like 3 or 4 successful dribbles during the game. So then again, we need more players like that. But it was not much to tell, from this game. And I don't know what Ten Hag, what his game plan was actually, because we knew they were coming with a low block, and yeah, he didn't look. He had a chat with Antony in the first half. I don't know what they talked about, but he should have said to him, "Try to take on your man. Try to go to the byline and cross." But he kept on doing the same thing. So I don't know what Ten Hag's instruction is. What do you think he said?
I didn't see that bit, Jarvis. I didn't see that bit, to be fair.
Yeah, okay.
He just said, listen, I signed you, and me and you both getting paid from Manchester United. Both of them having a little laugh together.
Yeah.
We're both shit,
thing,
but having a little laugh together.
Yeah. Another thing.
Please don't embarrass me today.
Where are you, Sean? Sean needs to come back, man. Sean needs to jump back on.
Wouldn't you like to see more of the youth come on? You like Harry Amas or something? We were up with 2 goals.
Yes.
Not just Ethan Wheatley, because we have heard about this guy sitting on the bench all the time, but we've never seen him, Harry Amas.
Yeah.
He's very good. He's very
Yeah,
good.
he should have played. He should have played.
Mm.
He should have played. He should have played. That's the thing about... that's the thing. He should have played, man. It's Sheffield United at home, for fuck's sake. Bottom of the league. They're coming to sit back. They're not even attacking us other than a couple of counter-attacks here or there.
Yeah.
We said it last night. They're going to play on the counter.
Oh, check this comment by Lincoln Lawyer. If Hojlund is too quick to jizz, to jizz it. Antony looks like he forgot how to get it up.
Ah, come on.
Honestly, you know what I
Come
mean? Look, Antony, I'm asking myself the question seriously. What is Antony giving me that Ahmad can't give me? Nothing. Ahmad takes care of the ball. He plays in tight spaces. He's got good feet, and he tries to take the man on.
Hmm.
Play him, man. Play him. Look, we accept you've signed a dud for a massive amount of money. Just forget it. It happens, right? We did it with Maguire. It's okay. Play the right guy. He deserves to play. Give him 45 minutes. Start him. You know, Antony offered nothing today, really. Honestly, he didn't go past his man once. He didn't go on the outside. Come back inside, tippy tapper bullshit, play a ball into midfield. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Take your man on, open up the game for us. Garnacho at least was trying that. I think Garnacho, like I said, he does it when that's all he does. If you watch Garnacho's eyes, as soon as he gets the ball, it's eyes down. I'm looking. Who am I going to take on? No. Do you know what I mean? Come hopefully with a bit of maturity. But I didn't think today there was too many like disappointing. You know, you won the game. I'm more interested today in who actually played all right. I didn't think there was anyone particularly. Antony, yeah. Onana, as Jarvis said, wasn't great. Yeah, those two stuck out for me. Especially Antony. Yeah.
Okay, here's a question for you. What do you think of the Premier League thinking about a wage cap being proposed in the Premier League? I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, me too. I think if you reach the top of the tree, that's it. You know, there's nowhere else to go. You don't have to look anywhere. You can just focus on your game. End of story.
Jarvis?
Well, for the owners, it will be a fantastic gift because they don't have to spend more money. They know, and but the ticket prices will keep rising, and the price of a shirt and everything. So the Glazers will welcome the salary cap. But from a competitive standpoint, yeah, I think it's a good thing. But you know, it will remind me of. Will we have the Premier League like American sports with the wage cap? We will take turns on winning the Super Bowl every 10 year or something, and everybody will be happy. Everybody makes money.
Well, the only thing is this, Jarvis. Some people will say the wage cap would intensify. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word when you intensify? Yeah, intensify. Like some of the players to get bonuses, so they would play performance bonuses. So if you have the wage cap, they can have performance or goals or assist, kind of. You know what I mean? Those things.
Yeah,
what do you think about it?
Oh, incentivize.
Incentivize. That's the word.
Yeah. Yeah, and they can create farmer leagues, and we can send down the highest paid players just to save wages, and there will be much more swap deals for players, and you know, you can only have like 2-star players on top wages. Nah,
but then this to be fair, I understand. To be
you
fair,
lose our competitive edge as Man United because we are the biggest club with the most
we pay
revenue.
the biggest wages. But then we can't even get rid of them, Jarvis. So that's why 11 years of not getting rid of dog shite with big wages, other than when their contracts run out, and the way that we're put on the New York Stock Exchange and all that bullshit, and that we have to buying somebody, selling somebody is difficult because it looks like a loss on the company's, on the PLC's fucking books, other than signing somebody new. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So
do you think
we just to me, I'll keep it the same. Bombay. But as long as we are privately owned, we're off and we go back to being a football club.
Do you know Wendy makes a point? You know,
but
like
I agree
now,
with you on I agree with you on the. I don't want a European sport to be Americanized. Fuck off with that Americanization.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
There's pros and cons to it, to be honest. I mean, that was my first thought. You know what? there's your ceiling. No more bullshit. If you're a top player, you get the top wage, but this is the most you can earn. Maybe you do that, you get a fairer spread across the board. However, the Premier League is an attraction because you're giving wages to people that they wouldn't dream of in Benfica or Valencia or you know what I mean? So you put that wage cap on and you get it across the board. Is the incentive there anymore? You take away from the Premier League, maybe?
Yeah.
So it's the swings and roundabouts. It's not actually straightforward, when you boil it down. And Jarvis as well,
To me,
a really good point.
It tempts me because we can't get rid of players with big wages at Manchester United because we're so shit and the players are shit and we can't move on because the way Glazonomics works, people, is that Glazonomics, if they sell a player that's shit, like Maguire, got rid of Maguire because of the amount of money we signed him for, what we signed him, that's a loss on the books.
Yeah.
I wonder what that wage cap would be, though. Would some players have to relinquish some dough? Is it going to be 300,000-400,000?
Well, already, actually, I read an article today that because of no Champions League, the players take a wage cap anyway. Manchester United, we're not going to be no wages. So Ten Hag is facing 25%. Majority of the coaching staff, all of the coaching staff, are facing around 25%, especially Ten Hag, and players because no Champions League, the wages get slashed. Yeah. That's written into their contracts, by the way.
Dino, I need to jump off, bro.
Yeah, listen, I'm going off as well. But Sean, last word. The question is, would you take a wage cap in the Premier League? You live in America, you live in the US, you watch US sports. Is a wage cap sensible thing, or is it capitalist to make money, more money?
Yeah. I think a wage cap sounds nice in theory, and I missed the last discussion. I had to get on a call for work, but I think a wage cap sounds nice in theory. But for a club like United, I think it might be hard to implement in practice. First of all, there are already players whose wages are probably above whatever the wage cap would be. I think when you get to a certain level, depending on the type of players that you're trying to attract, it might be difficult to attract the type of players that we want if there is a wage cap. So it sounds nice, but I just feel like it might be very difficult to implement.
I was explaining the fact that it's appealing to somebody fan like me because I know that Manchester United, because we're on the stock exchange and all that bullshit, and Glazonomics works that we can't sell somebody, we can't take a loss because it looks bad on the books. So that's why we always have to have our players resign contracts or for them to finish their contract, because then the books looked all right. But this is the reason why I'm getting tempted as a United fan, because of the way the Glazonomics, where's that's put the fucking football club, where we can't get rid of players unless they finish their contracts, which is bullshit. But
so the thing about that is, it's what I was saying, I think a couple of episodes ago, because United are a publicly traded company.
Yeah, I understand that.
The owners of the company have a fiduciary responsibility to make money, meaning that at any given point in time, you're legally bound to do the thing that would make you the most money. So using Twitter as an example, the guys at Twitter didn't want to sell the company to Elon Musk. But when they got an offer, literally $44 billion, their board basically said to them, hey guys, regardless of whatever you want, we are legally obliged to take this offer seriously. So the same thing applies to United in the sense that the club would never do anything deliberately to take a loss. Never. Because people could get in legal trouble. If I was a shareholder of United and I found out that somebody at United did something deliberately that caused the club to take a loss, that caused my value or my shareholding to lose value, I can sue them.
Well, that's the reason
for that.
That's why sport should not be a publicly listed fucking on a New York. It should not
right,
be.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sport is different. That's why we should not be. And we
I
need to
agree.
be taken off that. Because
I agree.
sport operates in the most fickle of ways. It doesn't operate like a profit fucking shareholder fucking bullshit fucking PLC.
But you know the problem, the problem is that now there are more and more eyes watching football. There is more and more money to be made from football. Netflix and other streaming services are likely to get involved in football. The new Apple Vision Pro is coming up with a better way to watch football. So there's just more and more money, more and more capital coming into the
from
game.
television,
From
but actually,
television, from branding, from everything.
but
Right.
most,
It's a
but most football teams lose money. Most football owners are in it. I don't know what they're in it. They're in it for soft power. They're in it for all sorts of things to other businesses. Then really, there's not that many profitable football clubs in the world. To be fair, if you look at the amount of
But I
football
think,
teams
you know, our boys,
all the leagues that exist.
don't our Glazers, obviously part of the loss is the dividends that they take, right? So they take a clean profit, but that goes on the books,
Yeah,
contributing towards
listen. If
the
they listen,
operating
if listen,
cost at a deficit, no?
Mumbai, if one of them farts, they charge Manchester United. Forget about anything else. They go, yeah, get it out of Manchester United. The
Oh,
pricks, those bastards. Oh, listen, we'll sign up with that, man. The genocide's still going to win on, and we're going to say free fucking Palestine till from here to Timbuktu. Free
Yes.
fucking Palestine.
Free
When you wake up in the
Palestine, man.
morning, when you go to bed at night, when you're walking around, free fucking Palestine. That's what we say, people. Like the great poet, there's a great poem that says free Palestine every minute. So free Palestine, stop the genocide in fucking Gaza, and fuck all the Arab states, all those dickheads, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, the Dubai lot, all of those other fucking worthless cowards. Palestinian blood is on your fucking conscience, you fucking shitbags. You absolute shitbags. Free, and especially Dubai lot. The Dubai lot are behind what's going on. The Dubai lot and Western countries are behind what's going on in fucking Sudan. Don't let anybody tell you anything otherwise, because they're getting cheap fucking gold. Some of the massive percentage of gold reserves in the world is in Sudan. They're blessed with fucking gold. They're blessed with gold. So, and Congo, you already know, we will not be talking or communicating without the Congolese minerals. We will not be here now, right? So we know what's going on there. All the multinational corporations who are behind that. Stop the fucking horrendous fucking.
Normally I don't jump
well.
in, or I don't say anything about this segment of your show. But as somebody who immigrated from Nigeria, a West African country, I just want to say that we should reserve some of our scorn for the African leaders themselves,
of course,
who are benefiting
100%,
and
100%,
manipulating the situation too.
100%. These two fucking generals. But I'm sorry, Sean. When these bastards, the majority of them are educated in the West, right? What do you expect? They're gonna be these fuck, because the system is already, the game is set up. And the other, what happens? To be fair to some of them as well, Sean. What happens to people like Thomas Sankara? What happens to people like Patrice Lumumba? What happens to other people like Kwame Nkrumah? Like, what happens to some of these other leaders who actually want to serve the people? What happens? They get fucking. What happens to them? They get assassinated. They get taken out. Because the way the system is set
the
up,
countries are not getting a free hand, bro, to solve their problems amongst themselves. It's either economic hitman, you know what I mean? We threaten you with regime change. This is the difference with other powers.
I understand all of that, and maybe this is not the forum for it. I'm just saying that in many instances as well,
no
there is corruption that is being done by the people there
100%.
locally that are making the lives of the local people very hard. And I'm speaking as somebody who, like all of us, I think most of us on this panel, aside from Neso and Jarvis, are immigrants. You know, largely from parts of the world where local management.
Sean, I've got to stop you there. I'm an East African expat. I like to have you mind. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm an expat. I'm not a fucking immigrant. I'm an expat.
Okay. No, okay. I am an immigrant.
I can be fucking expat. And if
that's fair.
Expat in Africa, I'm an expat in Europe.
That's fair. And that's I just, part of what we discussed in my podcast about the last few episodes was about the election in Nigeria and the corruption basically that was rampant, spurred by people who just want to live fat and, as you mentioned, send their kids to Western schools while they drain the resources from the country that they're in. So,
listen,
Sean, small, super rich,
but the only
big poor.
difference is this. Listen,
yeah.
let me say something. I'll say something. And I say it clearly. corruption is in the heart of Europe. Britain, I'm not gonna lie to you, is one of them. London, the city of London, is one of the most corrupt cities in the world in terms of banking. Majority of the world, like in terms of mafia, from the people in, all of the cocaine money gets washed here. Russian oligarch money gets washed here. British fucking money, like oligarch money, gets washed in London. So this idea that corruption is an African thing or is an Asian thing or is a black and brown thing, nah, mate.
It's a human thing. It's a human thing. Yeah, you're right.
Listen, real corruption is in the IMF, the World Bank, the fucking World Trade Organ. There where the real corruption is. These global institutions.
But you know the good thing,
Nuruddin,
you have power in your house right now, and your power is not going to go off because somebody in your country is stealing all the money that's supposed to use to do power supply, right? The roads might be terrible, but at least you can drive from one place to another.
I'm telling you, Sean,
these are the issues.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It might not be. You might not be. You might not be that time. You're not that far away from that time. If you looked at, I'm sure you got to do a show about the British state. What happened during COVID? Billions and billions of money, boom, to their friends. The clearest corruption. We call the corruption it's like honest corruption, like you have in Africa or they have in Asia. It was quite honest. It was very
no. I mean, here in the West, they call the corruption lobbying. Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway,
in South Africa, we had 500. In South Africa, we had 500 billion gone in two separate weeks. During COVID. So
in Norway, Jarvis, what happened? Any corruption in Norway?
Yeah, basically, it's the politicians that's the most corrupt people in Norway. People who are in government, they are. I think we have lost like 5 or 6 ministers of different brands in this last year, I would say. So people cheat. They write on. I would say housing bills and everything. They rent apartments and get everything paid in the capital, and they get everything paid for their home at their hometown. And there's so much corruption going on, and it's up in the open, and everybody do it. It's just the way it is now.
And that's it. That's what I'm saying to you, Javid. Even Scandinavia, where a lot of people point to and go, the standards of living, the taxation, to the way that they keep the standard of living and that. There's corruption. It's not just, to me, it's a human thing, but it's a political thing. But in Africa or on different parts of the world, it's more honest, it's more in your face. Here, they're systematic. They hide it through the system. And they call it taxation. And you're like, why am I paying rent? Then why am I paying fucking council tax? Then why am I paying for the, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? So you pay me when I work, I get wages, but then you calculated it so that every penny that I earn, you take. What the fuck? And then the services are not there. The health services, the crumbling roads. I won't mind. The money's all going to fucking war to bomb people in different parts of the world. That's the real fucking corruption. The industrial military complex. So fuck them. But fuck the Zionists and anybody who fucking supports them. Peace, love, light. People.
Big up, guys.
Win, lose, draw. Glazers out. Bankers out. Fuck off, Jim. You're fucking making the Glazers fucking stay. So we'll see this summer, people. If we're still run by Glazonomics, we will see. Love and light, people. Big up to everybody. And I'll go out to this and I'll say this to everybody. How we see things, Sean Thomas, make sure you check out Geopolitical podcast or podcast providers. Jarvis, make sure you check out on Monday nights, Jarvis Corner, Bowley 77. Lesso, check out Lesso Football TV. And he's at Black Rasa. I can never say the last bit, bro.
Black Renser.
Yeah,
Black Renser, there you
Black
go.
Rain.
Bumbaye.
Black Rain.
Yeah, you never see him. Black Rain, there you go. You never see him anywhere else. You never see Bumbaye anywhere else. Mufc TV says, for me, forget the league. We ain't getting top 4. Just try to win the FA Cup and don't finish below Chelsea.
Fucking hell,
hold on, Liverpool!
Late, you know what I mean? We knew that a few weeks ago, bro.
Big up to Mufc TV. I'm glad that, listen. Yeah. Mufc TV, I'm so glad that United went through to a final, man. Big up. You went all the way from Manchester to London, like majority of fans. But big up to you. Big up George Galloway for calling out the Glazers in the House of Commons. Yeah. People have been sending me that video. He's a United fan. George Galloway can't say Glazers out in the Houses of Parliament. Wow, interesting. Big up, love and light, people. Jim the Rat in Eels Glazers out. There we go. Take care, people. Love and light. Good night.
You guys safe.